Hello, everybody. It seems as though that Dragon Heist has finally come into my possession, and an hour after having got it and desperately reading through the materials, I hope is enough to actually get started on this session. Now, you guys have currently been spending a little bit of time in the city of Splendours herself, Waterdeep. You have been staying here, or Waterdeep has always been your home, and for the past couple of 10 days, you have been enjoying the sights, you have been making the best, and you have just been doing whatever motivates you for the time being. During that time, you seem to have just kind of found each other. Where might you have found each other? Why, the Yawning Portal, of course. A good getaway for all would-be adventurers and retired adventurers who seemingly get together. It apparently just seems to be the natural hub of travelled souls, or souls that yearn to travel, and they certainly do seem to come together. On one fateful night, as you're quietly settling in to what is now a gently cooling atmosphere that is the oncoming of autumn, you guys enter the Yawning Portal, as you've often done, ordering some quipper and chips, which I find incredibly adorable, and you enjoy some tasty Dark Vale mead, if I've got Shadow Dark Ale, rather. And now we begin with the following. You sit around a sturdy wooden table, lit by a brightly burning candle, and littered with plates cleared of food and half-drained tankards. The sound of gamblers, yelling and drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. Then, all the noise is eclipsed by a shout. "You pig! You're killing me mates, does ya?" Then a 7-foot-tall half-orc is hit by a wild swinging punch from a male human whose shaved head is covered with eye-shaped tattoos. 4 other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc cracks his knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. But before you can see if blood is drawn, a crowd of spectators cluster around the brawl. What do you do? I'm asking.
Yell, World Star! I go over and watch.
Wolfstar. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Who's that going over? Is that Braggy, I'm betting?
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, you being a Goliath, how tall are you?
8 feet.
Oh yeah. So you have a supreme view where you can actually start to see over half these people, especially since you can see, and you're a little bit taller than the 7-foot-tall half-orc that was also in the way. You can see that there are 5 combatants, with, let's see. Yeah, there's about 5 of them. And, yeah, there seems to be about 5 of them that are currently, fighting off against one another. And, this one half-orc, seems to be, fighting. And no, they are a half-orc. You catch that she has a chest to indicate that she is some kind of female. Although, it wouldn't be a female for your tastes. How do you rest of you choose to respond?
I would like to cast Prestidigitation to clean up the mess they're making.
Okay, nice. You do the mop up. What do the other 2 do?
So, we never really established exactly what role Melina has. Is she... I see her as a detective, but is she a detective in an official sense, or would I be...
You are a paladin, and you will have to decide how you want to do that yourself.
Okay then, because... Yeah,
you're
so
level 1, so
she...
that's not to say that you are recognized for much at the moment. You are your own private PI, recognized by yourself, and perhaps with some pending paperwork, if you really want to go down that road. But, yeah, improv it from there.
Because I was just about to say, like, if she has an official badge, she would basically flash that and be like, okay, break it up.
Well, such a thing might be. Well, you've applied for the necessary faction. In fact, you may have likely applied for the City Watch, which makes the most amount of sense. But you were late for one meeting when you were dealing some personal justice to something that was on the street before, and you rebooked it, so it's pending. You're in a pending state at the moment.
Okay. So yeah, she gets up and she is going to try to intervene, but how does this orc woman, like, she's 7 foot, you said?
Yeah, she appears to be at 7 foot tall.
Once I see her getting up to try and break this up, it's a 7 foot tall half orc and 5 other guys fighting her, right?
That is correct, yes, including one tattooed gentleman, a bald gentleman with a eye patch, a series of eyes over him.
Am I allowed to, I guess my question is, would I know with Melina standing up that she is going to break up the fight?
You can ask her.
Would that
she can also say it. Totally up to you.
Like, are you?
Yeah.
I guess, are you saying what you're doing or making it obvious, or?
Well, at this point, she's kind of she's observing to see who the aggressors are in this situation.
Who the aggressors are in this situation is so unclear. What can be said, if you want, is that the half-orc lady is the aggressor, since she was the one you caught the tail end, screaming that, well, to quote, "Ya pig! Yeah, like killing me mates, does ya?" Before that whole brawl seemed to kick off. What you make of that is up to you.
Yeah. So Melina will she'll be without out of range of any stray fists, but she will clearly state to the orc woman, the half orc woman, "Do you really want to spend 7 days?"
Punch her in the face! Go on! Uppercut! Go on, your guard's open! Get in there! Get in there! So that's sort of what you're trying to say over with all these people that have formed a nice circle around them. If you want to be noticed,
she's not very good with a rowdy crowd.
Yes, this is a rowdy crowd.
Buggy is a Goliath, right?
Yes, they are, yes.
Yes, I'm gonna tap on his back, and then I'm going to look at him as if I want an upsy. So that I want to climb on his back so I can see a much better view from where I am now.
In fact, you have a handout for this half-orc. Yargla Stonefist, but you can see, you don't know her name, but you get to see what she looks like at least.
So I would actually, because you said how loud it is, I would like to actually cast message.
Okay.
To the half-orc woman.
Okay.
And just basically relay exactly the same thing that Milana said to her. So that way, I know she can hear it.
Certainly. So you know the person enough in such a short distance to do this spell. Message. Level 1, I guess so. You get involved then.
Message is a cantrip.
Message. Maybe it's not sending like I'm thinking. Let's have a look in the old compendium. Message. Here we go. You point your finger towards a target. Target hears the message and can reply in a whisper. Only you can hear. You can cast a spell, solid objects. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so you tell them to calm it down, stop being so rowdy and whatnot. And when you do so, this half-orc-ess is distracted for what appears to be like a critical moment. They seem to then just get caught off guard as between the 5 of them, they all just basically wail into her as she can't recover her defenses. Her guard is dropped and she's punched, kicked, and banged up near walls and whatnot as she's being completely bombarded and overwhelmed now.
I let out a sigh, stand up, and just motion towards Melina to do something.
Yeah. So delegate. Okay. So yeah, Melina will. She's going to use an intimidation roll. She is going to, again, she's going to use the threat of law and basically say, you know, if you guys do not stop this right now, you're all going to be put in the bloody slammer.
Alright, give me an intimidation check, please. With disadvantage, as the crowd is louder than you.
So, I have to admit, I haven't played 5e for like 2 years. Like I played it when it first came out.
In that case, I suggest you just go with recommendations. That's awesome. Excellent. So even with the crowd being pretty loud, that's a very good roll, and you certainly bring in the mom voice to start trying to get these fools to shut up and to listen to you. Now that is the case. They, not the half-orc, as she is currently getting pounded away between the 5 of them, but the other 5, including the tattooed man, now their attention is dropped as they look at you, this frilly dressed, heavy armored woman who
Well, she's got
definitely-
her chain armor is underneath her dress.
We've covered some of this. You have a heavy armor that is prestidigitized.
Yeah, no. So because her starting equipment is just chainmail, and chainmail is, you know, light enough and simple enough to be hidden under cloth.
All right. Okay. Alrighty. So, no magic item. Anyway, so carrying on from there. Oh, that was distracting. Carrying on from there. Yes, the 5 of them lose their focus, as much like I did, and basically the half-orcess, she takes one wicked haymaker round straight down to the guy with his eye tattoo, and in one clean haymaker she knocks him out. And then Durham, this proprietor of the Yawning Portal, a man who you've all at least heard of and you've definitely seen around here, he comes in and with a single strong voice he simply yells, "You're out! Go on, get out!" he says with a snarl. And basically there are other crowd members that are booing and shooing them off now, as they've had the fun, but if Durham says they're out, then they're out. No question, ifs, ands, or buts. Yes.
Did he break it up?
Yes, so the other 4 members that are like fighting alongside the tattooed gentleman, they carry him out while the half-orc lady sort of staggers onto her back. Let's just see.
So the half-orc woman is still in the bar?
Yeah, she's kind of in there. She's kind of like spitting and cursing as the other 4 begin to slink out. Yeah. So, at this point, just as soon as those guys kind of shimmy out, with you guys standing up, kind of looking attentively and whatnot, shouts of alarms suddenly ring out as a hulking creature climbs out of the shaft in the middle of the tap room, which happens to be this large gaping hole in the middle that you see here. A monster with a warty green skin, a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long carrot-shaped nose, and bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see that a half a dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its bodies, with 3 more circling above as it flies. Everyone in the tavern reacts in fear, except for the barkeep Durham, who shouts, "Troll!" Now, how do you guys proceed from here? And, yeah, I'm going to show you that you have this nasty troll that, in the middle of what was otherwise a quiet evening, has now joined the fray with the rest of you, having crawled out from this pit. There we go. I get that up. And these bat-like creatures that are following around it, they seem kind of pale, palish pink as you would. And several of them are around.
Would we be rolling initiative at this point?
Yes, yes you will. Remember to click your token before you click initiative.
I can't click it.
You
Nor
can
can I.
absolutely click your token 5,000%. Joker has achieved this. Click your token with the cursor tool, go back to your character sheet, go to initiative, and give that a cheeky, crafty click.
Yeah, it's not allowing me to click my token.
I've clicked your token. I go to your character sheet, Braggy. I go to initiative. Boom. And it has joined the initiative order.
I still can't click it though.
Controlled by Braggy. Let's see.
Oh, no.
Control
Okay.
this by Adrian. Control
Okay,
this.
yep, now I can.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Alright. This is controlled by Melina. That's sorted. This one's already set up for Joker. Nice.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
I accidentally rolled it 3 times trying to click.
That's fine. We'll take whatever we got. This is fine. Let's see. We get one of this. Nice. So yeah, this is what the bat-like creatures that are surrounding the troll look like.
Oh,
In your
lovely.
Yes, yes, they are nasty with these long snouts to them. And they look particularly pale and squishy, but otherwise nasty. And the Sturges, as they shall be known, shall have initiative 17. The troll shall have initiative 7. Very nice, very nice. We are going to just be freeing, like how this is going down. Oh, okay. Okay. So it rises to its full height of 9 feet tall as it clasps over this edge standing there. Yeah, while this troll is up here, the 9 that I have put, 6 of them are actually attached over his back, while 3 of them continue to fly around his head.
So, in terms of character knowledge, what aspects of this world is common knowledge? Like Sturges, they're a common
Very good
pest,
question. To a different man, knowledge of a troll and a sturge are very, very different. So, I will ask that who is proficient with nature?
Not I.
I am.
Who said I am?
Me, Braggy.
Excellent, Braggy. You can give me a nature check on the trolls or the sturges.
The troll.
That's excellent. Yes. That roll will let you know that trolls are notoriously regenerative bastards. You know that they are particularly fond of swamps. You know that they are particularly deadly and nasty. You also know with that kind of roll that a troll's limb will grow back or even run amok because it just is so resilient from dying. And a troll does regenerate.
Alright, aim for the head. I yell.
You also know that the key to beating a troll is fire, for sure. And you know to just keep cutting and burning it as much as you can. However, it's interesting to you that this one is covered with these leech-like bats. Alrighty.
Do you like tell us this information about the
Well-
fire?
Well, he will have to fit that in a roleplay time, but that's what I'm awarding right
Okay.
now. For now,
Mm.
we have some of these flying bats that come swooping down, and the first one is gonna go over for, well, the Braggy looks like the biggest and the most tastiest, so he's gonna try and go for him.
Bring it on.
That is a 12. He did try to bring it. What is your AC?
15.
All right. Internet connection has been cut fantastically. So, are you guys still able to hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then it's just roll 20. And apparently, I can still keep working around this. So, that's a miss. The next bat is going to go over for Melina. And they are also going to try to give a little poke with their long schnozzes over to you. That's a 17. Does it beat your chainmail?
Let's see. AC is no, it does not.
Excellent. Chainmail is 16 points of AC. Do I take it you have a shield?
Yes, actually, that's what I was going to ask. Are
You
we
have a
allowed our
shield.
weapons in this bar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody's got their
Okay,
weapons
so
in
yes.
this bar. Yeah, you
Then
got
yes,
your
I've got
shield.
my shield.
Totally. Alright, excellent. So, yeah, that will make the difference. Finally, this bat over here, he's going to go for... he's going to go for Adrian. He's going to go for Adrian.
Of course, as one does.
That is a 14.
That would hit if I did not just cast shield.
Yeah, that's totally a thing you can do. Very nice. Boing! You cast shield, and the sturge is just repelled back, bumped off your magical shield. No problem whatsoever. Melina, it is your turn.
Okay. So, how far between Melina and the troll?
How far between Melina and the troll? Oh, you're very close. We're going to say this is representational, so yeah, 13 feet. It's standing right on the ledge, precariously. Well, precariously standing there.
Okay. So, Melina looks to Goliath, which is Braggy.
Yep.
She says, you might want to try knocking that thing down.
That's a-
And she would try it herself, but she's small and she doesn't want to risk being grabbed and...
Did you roll an attack or something?
So she's going to attack the Sturge, but yeah, she was basically telling giving quote-unquote advice to Braggy as she slashes at this Sturge.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see that roll. I see an initiative
Okay.
roll, and that's done by me,
Yep.
so ignore me.
Yeah, okay, so longsword, there we go. Oh,
Oh,
God,
yes. We take the
Duh.
first one. And the first
Yeah,
one is a
delayed.
tremendous hit. You quite casually, easily, just pierce and skew and shish kebab this sturge as it just completely bleeds out over your sword with no problem whatsoever. Basically a squishy blood sack at this point as you just skewer it so carelessly, so easily. Now then,
Okay.
do you move?
Nah, she's gonna... Actually, she will move a bit closer, but she's still gonna try and stay out of grabbing reach of the troll.
Alrighty, let's put you a bit over here. That'll
Yeah,
That'll
she'll be in support range.
Lovely. So at this point, Durham, the barkeep from behind the bar, he grabs hold of a great sword he must have kept right underneath the bar, and he comes out forward, greatsword in hand, with a grizzled snarl that suggests that he is so used to this by now, and he's so ready for this. He is not in the slightest perturbed. In fact, I've got a handout for you right here. Now that the internet's back, Durham handout, which you should see. He's got some nice meaty arms to him for sure.
Definitely looked like a badass.
Oh yeah, he is a badass, absolutely. he comes forward, and he basically he calls on you guys to focus on slaying the Sturges, and then he also commands you that to grab some of the oil lanterns that are hanging around and set it on fire when it falls, so that it dies in a fiery death, in a fiery manner for sure. All right. Now it is Braggy's turn.
All right. I'm thinking, yeah, good idea. That's Adrian yelled to me. Walk over and try to push the troll down again.
You're going to try a
Fire
shove
style.
attempt.
Yeah.
Alright, a shove attempt is made with an athletics check, and it is counted by a separate athletics check. Certainly. Go ahead
I can
and
do
give
that.
me that check. Alrighty. Oh my god.
He didn't crit.
I did crit, and I crit in the bad way. The troll is you Sparta kick this fucker down. You utterly have him stumbling, and in one spell's kick, you don't just have him like pivot on his feet. You completely cave in his gut, and you completely launch him into this pit. His back, with all of its bats, squishing and smacking against the back of the other side of the well as he scuffs up against it. Large, green, black, ready trails of these exploded pustules of swollen bats continue to burst across its back, and he completely goes out. But as he slides down for another 30 feet or so, his claws, all four of them, two, sorry, I'm thinking of a different kind, but all two of them reach out, and they do grab hold of the walls, catching himself before he goes tumbling all the way in. Though he is essentially climbing, he's still in the combat, but with all of his little blood... Whoops! All of his little bloodsuckers having been totally smushed. It's very nice, Peggy. And you stand there proudly for all to see.
Clap my hands, and that was easy.
Very nice. Though he is still in sight, he's just further down in there now, and he will come back up for more.
Right, that's my turn. Wait, maybe just a little bit back.
Yeah, certainly. Durham definitely calls out and he goes, No! Bring some fire! We gotta burn this fucker! He needs some fire on him.
Sorry.
Right. Adrian, it is now your turn. And also, Braggy, you're right by the edge. Certainly.
All right.
I would know the bartender's name, correct?
Durham, yes, certainly.
Okay, so I would just like to say, don't worry, Durham. I have the fire. Just please get these sturges off me, and I would like to cast firebolt at the troll.
Nice. You have a clear shot on it, certainly, within this pit. Go ahead and roll. Oh!
Ooh! It's not an actual crit, but it's still a high roll.
Ooh! Very nice! Strong! Okay, yeah. You blast this troll with a gout of fire, shooting at its back where some of its... Like, where you've seen the bats that have been purged and slurping up from his back, you can see that already his blood was curdling and clotting into new growing pustules. And right as those squishy, damp, moist, gross, black pustules would begin to go back, you scorch it over with a severe accurate blast from your firebolt, as it certainly pings against his back, and the troll roaring in agony as he certainly does not like that. And now, for the sake of making sure I mark this thing, I'm going to give him a little red dot to indicate something for later.
And with my free hand that's not holding a dagger, I'm just going to give Durham a thumbs up.
Excellent. Very nice. Joker, it is now your turn.
I assume there is a one sturge close to me.
Yes, there is.
I pull out both a rapier and a dagger, and I'm going to attack with both weapons.
Excellent. You can absolutely do that. Go ahead and
Yeah,
roll.
I assume. Okay, I assume that the offhand weapon does not get the bonus from the damage, right? Because of the two hands without the fighting style.
Yeah. You get all the bonuses from your fighting styles and.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just roll. Okay, rapier, wand, and dagger. Yes, you do not get the precision. Oh, from sneak attack.
Yeah. Let me take that out because I'm not adjacent to anyone. I must be forgetting to take it. My bad.
No, you're adjacent to Adrian, and you're
Ah.
a level 1 rogue, I guess, and level 1 rogues do get sneak attack. So yeah, that's all good. That's all good, I guess, yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally. The piercing, yes, your offhand is done correctly. Extremely nice. Both of these are a hit, but it seems as though you only need the first one to kill this dude off. So between your movement, you could move up to closer to Adrian, jump on the ledge, and you can go swatting for the other sturge if you like.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Wonderful. Go ahead and go for it.
Is another dagger?
Yeah, well, the other dagger is a hit. You go for the other one, you throw it forward, and it strikes into that flying sturge, perfectly picking out of the air as it collapses and tumbles with a splat on the ledge right beside you.
Are you alright, Adrian?
Yes. Thank you for that.
Anything else you do?
Nope, that is my turn.
Alright, lovely. Alright. Durnan is holding his greatsword like he's coming out of his depth, and he's just like, fire. And he goes over to the fireplace. He sheaves his greatsword, and he takes a burning log in his bare hands, and he snaps it against the side of that stonemason like mouth, and he makes it into a flaming like spiked like wooden edge, and he basically gets hold of that and he comes back over to the edge. Melina, it's your turn.
Yep. Okay. So. There are no other source of fire other than the fireplace.
Fireplace, the oil lamps that are lighting around the
Yeah.
way.
They're like at least they look like they're at least 10 to 12 feet up, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair. More like 8 feet to 9 feet, certainly.
So, would she be able to reach one?
Certainly. I think so.
Okay, so yeah, she'll try to grab one of them and then fling it at the troll.
Totally. All right. So this is essentially an improvised weapon. You're not proficient with improvised weapons, as far as I'm concerned. It's a thrown item, 20-foot range. This troll is at least a little bit lower down than 20 foot. Braggy is in the way of the edge over that side. So I'm going to have a D20 roll play, 2D20 roll made at disadvantage because of the distance.
Well, I mean, actually, because it's lower down, the distance shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I guess it's still accuracy.
Correct. That is the case.
Okay, so here we go. 1 and 2.
That's outstanding. At disadvantage, that is a hit. That is a hit at disadvantage. And essentially, I'm going to conclude that this is like Alchemist Fire. So, roll me 2d6. Oh, that's exceptional. So, yeah, you add to the fire that's already going on this scorched troll's back as you weigh into it, coating its back in this burning paraffin oil as it lights up, the the case of the oil lamp crashing down against its back, its glass breaking against it before its metal frame goes whizzing through the air down into the bottomless pit. Meanwhile, yeah, the troll is completely ablaze in that searing fire, as that certainly did not add to make his day any better for sure. Alright, very good. Anything else you do this turn?
Nah, she just steps back. She doesn't want any errant troll arm trying to grab her in one last.
Certainly. Alright, Braggy, it's your turn.
Does the troll have a turn or?
Why doesn't the troll have a turn? It had a turn before. Oh boy. How disappointing.
I think it's because you accidentally deleted it when you were
yes.
trying to.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is. The troll has a turn on 7.
It had an initiative of 7.
Yes, it has an initiative of 7, which means it's at the bottom.
All right. I'm just grabbing a chair nearby, throw it at them, and yell, "Get up here and fight me!"
All right, awesome. Improvised weapon. Are you proficient with them?
Nope.
All right, let's just have a d20.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. I was given a very nice link about improvised weapons, so I think this will be a d6.
Do that.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Free bludgeoning damage, as some of the splinters and some of the wood definitely bang into his head, the chair most definitely breaks across his being, as he's
Bullseye.
on fire, and you've just added logs to it, so certainly. And they do go down, burning as they do, of bits of embers. And as you watch all the way as that light flickers out to nothing at the bottom of this black pit. Unable to see the bottom, it goes down so far.
Right.
FYI, more than 300 feet, killing, terminal velocity distance.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
300d6.
Kind of, 20d6. Alright, so I guess 200 feet. Anyway, Adrian, this is your turn.
Would you say I have enough movement to get up to the 2nd floor?
Well, it is crowded. So with a dash, I wouldn't say why not. You have a
I
dash.
wouldn't want to dash to do that, so I would just get on the stairs rather, where I can still see it from. If
Yeah,
that's
sure.
alright.
Yeah, I can allow
Um,
that.
And another question: that lantern, would you say it's directly above the troll?
What lantern?
It's,
The lantern that is kind of by the bar and the barrels.
I think it's on the other
Almost.
side.
Yeah.
No, it's not by the troll at all.
Okay, can't see that well. So I will just cast Firebolt once again from where I'm at then.
Perfectly sound. Let's see that roll. And
There
that
we go.
firebolt has got a good reach.
It's like you're dropping a match down after it.
Yeah, totally. Let's see that firebolt roll. Wonderful, consistent. You lay into it with more fire still, as that troll is certainly a mess. Now, Joker, it's over to you.
Alright. Quick. First thing, I'm gonna roll perception, see if any flammable object other than the oil lamp that I can bring. Maybe some patrons that panic right now may have something that's flammable.
Well, you have something at the fireplace, and you have the oil lanterns. If you don't want to use any of those, what things of your equipment do you want me to believe you will use that's flammable and on fire?
A torch?
Alright. You can spend an action to light your torch and throw that against it, sure.
Let me check something. I want to make sure that I do have a torch. No, I don't think I have a torch. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the oil lamps and start to lob at the troll.
Now, Joker, you are a small creature, aren't you?
Tabasi, let me check.
Oh, Tabaxi will be a medium creature. You're fine. You can get up there. Interesting.
Yeah.
Your dexterity was going back and forth between 16... I'll cover that later. Interesting. Anyway. Yes, you can absolutely grab another oil lamp, totally. And you want to toss this?
Yep.
Okay, brilliant. This will... Are you proficient with improvised weapons?
No.
Alright then. This will be 2d20s. At disadvantage, please.
2d20.
Yes. It'll be considered like throwing alchemist fire. Outside of...
It's a miss.
That will be
Oh,
a
you
miss.
combine them together.
No, it's cool. I know there's a result of 3 and there's a result of 13. So...
Yeah.
That's...
Alright, so yes, that will be a miss, and it does go just only fractionally a little bit wide, just a little bit, that's all. And the troll certainly does shimmy the other way. Now,
Okay.
it is the troll's go, and the fire is essentially being striked over to the left-hand side of him, so he kind of like crawls around the right-hand side, and while still clawing its way around, he doesn't try to go up on that pedestal. The first thing he tries to do is to drag Braggy in. Just toss you in as much as he can. So, he is going to give an athletics check, and I'm going to need you to contest it, please, Mr. Braggy. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
Easy.
one. Braggy,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
He brought that hand over to your ankles, and despite this being a troll, this seemingly is like a weaker troll. He's certainly like already messed up for some reason. He, despite his stature, despite his size, you expected, being a Goliath, that a creature bigger than you would have put up more of a fight, but no, he's not putting too much of a fight at all, really. Kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
But it is Durham's go, and when he comes back, he strikes this troll as he tries to come over, bearing this that flaming bit of wood down, and he just jabs it into this creature like he was using a stake. Now, despite whatever experience he has, this other troll will grab this flaming bit of wood in its hand. Though it doesn't like it, it puts it up first to sort of defend itself, and it then just sort of swats it away. That bit of wood falling down into the pit, as he will then just arm himself with his greatsword, prepare to behead this thing. The next opportunity, he yells to you guys that you're doing great. Keep it up. Keep laying down fire on it. Don't let it stop burning, is what he essentially says. And the start of the troll's turn did happen, so yeah, he basically continues to tell you to keep laying in the fire. Melina, it's now your go.
Yep. Okay. Oh. In this situation, it seems like the best thing to do would be to try and, again, just dislodge it.
Yeah.
Put it down in the pit once and for all. So, you say it's hanging by one hand, trying to attack and defend itself with a bit of wood.
It's already smacked Durham's piece of flaming wood out from its hand. Its feet are dug into the cobblestone that makes up this pit. Its right hand is partially holding on to the ledge that Brog is standing upon, while its left hand is clutched over the edge of this pit as well, looking to climb over, it seems, certainly.
Okay, so she's gonna move in closer, and
Yep.
she's basically going to attempt to, well, sever his hand.
Perfectly acceptable and excellent, by all means. Let's see it.
Okay. Yep. And the longsword.
Jeez, we're getting some good rolls today.
Very,
Yeah,
very, very nice.
They don't stand a
Okay.
chance.
Alright, so yes, you completely slash at that hand. I'm gonna roll something. Mm-hmm. Interesting, interesting. Alright, excellent. So, you do cut that hand clean off and leave a stub in its place with the wrist hanging over the edge of this pit as if it was at the executioner's block. You chop it down and you lay in the slashing damage against that troll as his fairly large, like, head-grasping hand plops on the other side, right between your feet, as it were, as it just, like, collapses there. And the troll's
So-
balance shifts as it is there.
She's seen the hand land on the ground, and she would probably ask if someone, or she might try and kick the hand towards the fire and tell someone to throw it in.
Alright, well, that will be next turn for you, I guess. I mean, you can talk as a free action, come in, get this hand off
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Certainly.
Basically, yeah, she's just telling nearby patron to throw it in the fire if she kicks it over.
Yeah, Durham looks at it, she's just like, yeah, good move. That will come back. Throw it into that fire right away. And he's on board. He will throw it for you when he gets an opportunity. Roggy, it's your turn.
Right. I take my totem out behind my back. It's like ram thingy.
Yeah, a ram. Nice.
I made it 1d8, and I don't have proficiency.
You made it 1d8 and you don't have proficiency. Oh, your battle ram. Your
Yep.
not a totem. Your
Yeah,
portable
it's-
ram used as advantage when.
It's
there-
in the shape of a totem.
Right, let's look this up. Portable RAM item. Here we go. Do. A gear. Break down doors. When doing so, +4 bonus to strength check other characters and help you breaking down a door, breaking down a door, breaking down a door. This creature's positioning is not helpful to you. It is not
No.
a door. Its head will move back and forth as it sees fit to try and avoid you. It is not a horizontal, like aligned movement. It is much more vertical, which the ram is not designed to do. Now, you can absolutely just kind of hug it and kind of just like reverse caber toss it down towards this troll's being. But if you drop it, it could go down that hole, and you're certainly
Yeah.
like throwing it down the hole to make this maneuver pull off. So,
No,
is that what you want to
no.
do?
I'm not gonna throw it.
All right, all right.
Then what do I do? Grab a table. The one with the one where I took chair from.
You are a little bit away from tables at the moment. You are right by this pit and right by this ledge.
And it's too far to kick it down.
Well, no, the troll is right beside you. Its hand is like right up against the edge for you. But the issue is that once you kick it down, that troll will come back until it is
Yeah.
burnt, and it will regenerate.
I don't know.
Your nature check will let you know that these trolls do go back. They are stubbornly regeneratory. If a hand is left behind and it's perfectly alright, a whole troll will grow from that hand. It will just split. Not like
Damn.
that. It will. It really will.
Alright, I'm just gonna walk back. Opportunity, right?
That is
Disengage.
correct. There we go. That's what I like to hear. You disengage and move back out of melee. No problem.
A little bit back there. Ready
Uh,
for next turn.
Done. Adrian,
Yep.
it's now your turn.
Would you say that the hand is within 5 feet of the troll itself?
Interesting question. I would say yes.
In that case, I would try to get both the troll and the hand itself in an acid splash.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, so the troll's got to make a dexterity, as does the hand, I take it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Alright. The troll fails. And the hand, stats. Oh, it's speed. It's all downhill. Yeah. It's gonna make one, but yeah. No, both fail, certainly. The hand melts into a little puddle right beside Melina's feet, certainly. And as that kind of splash does strike against the shoulder and side of the head of this troll, it most definitely gets some of this stinging, horribly smelling, misty bits of acid staining across its face, melting half of it down, certainly. It is a gruesome, gory-looking thing now, even more preposterously ugly than it was when it started. So, no.
And as I am doing this, I would like to yell out, I want free drinks after this.
Dunham gives a finger to you, he points out, and he says, "You got it!" Certainly. He's like right up there with the money. Alright, Joker, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna go get another oil lantern, probably this one,
Okay.
and hurl it at the troll.
Certainly. Now, this one seems to be kind of, in your hurry, this lantern seemingly is quite stuck on to its chains and whatnot. I'm going to need a strength check to pry it free. Or, you can very cunningly sort of go on the lantern, or the lamp, and you can basically hop your body upward, use the momentum to unhook it, and then as you're kind of in the air, throw it down, which will require a more difficult acrobatics check.
I will go with the badass one. Acrobatic.
Alrighty, let's see it. Yes, that's enough. You leap up, you catch the lantern, you jingle it with bringing your momentum down and bouncing back up to unhook it. And then, with your momentum just holding you in the apex of your jump, you then double hand throw it down towards this ogre. This troll. This is not a disadvantage, but this is still improvised weapon. Give me a d20. You catch it just a little bit to the side. You break the lantern over its head, dealing 1 point of damage for sure. But the rest of the fire and its unlit contents kind of spill over its back and out away from the scene, going down into the hole uselessly, unfortunately.
Ah, bummer.
It is the troll's turn, with Broggy having left the podium, and with one hand, he basically scrambles himself over to stand on this ledge, and having managed to somehow... No! He was assified! Very nice. Very nice. But still, even then, one claw in hand and a nasty set of teeth, he's going to move into the fray and see who he can't pester. He gives a bite to Broggy. A 24, doing 5 points of piercing damage. And then he gives a claw over to Broggy as well. A bite
I use my stone endurance.
Alright. As I believe stone endurance works, once per long rest, you can reduce the damage by a set amount dictated by your stone endurance. So, you are attacked with a bite. You reduce the 5 damage by 10 points. The damage, the bite simply just like can't pierce your skin. The teeth break against you as you just hit bone that's made of sturdier things. The remaining hit points you cancelled out do not continue.
No.
And then the next attack comes in, missing on a 10, I believe.
Yep.
And then a follow-up claw comes in with a 24 and does 12 points of slashing damage.
He's really angry.
He is really angry. He's lost a hand which he can't slice at you with, and you have been a bane of his, being right up in his grill, having kicked him, which caused him to be at such a disadvantage. Now at 12 points of damage, do you go down?
12? Wasn't it 11?
Nope, it was 12. It was the 11 points of slashing damage that came from the 10 that caused a whole thing to go down.
Right, I go down. Accept.
Alright. Yes, you fall prone as you do your job valiantly to keep to the front of the whole pack. And the troll's turn ends as he steps demurringly closer. Durnham comes in. He can see that this creature is now being... He has his opportunity. He has his greatsword in hand. He takes it out and he goes to swipe this creature down. He has... Whew! Okay. He has 4 attacks of his greatsword with Grimvolt. He rolls... Firstly...
Maybe shoving the troll down wasn't the best idea.
No. That is a miss. If the target is an object... Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet.
A great sword and even.
Second attack, that's a miss. Third attack, Durnham gets his hit that he's been looking for. And he does a mighty slash across it. That's excellent. He does a mighty slash with the great sword as he completely starts laying a heavy blow, showing and peeking at some of this troll's organs. Ugh, it's gross. And he has one more hit with the great sword in his arsenal. And he manages to fell the creature. He finally cuts deep into this troll's being, surging the great sword up, and then with the creature's beating heart being skewered by his greatsword, he kind of grits his teeth. He brings forward his heavy, mighty arms, and he basically half drags and carries this still barely clawing, barely alive creature over to the fireplace, and he plops him down inside it as the troll can't, give any more resistance. It crumples into the fire and flumps down as the fire and embers eat into its being, as what remains of the hand join with it. Well done, you guys. You've won.
Easy.
So that's why the chimney was larger than usual.
Somebody needs to tend to Braggy, which is why we will not go out of initiative. Melina, you're first.
Saving me.
Indeed. A quick answer is a lay on hands. 1 point instantly stabilizes him, gets him back up on his feet.
Yeah, do I even have lay on hands? Oh yeah.
You are a paladin.
I thought that
Yes,
was
you
lay-
do.
Yeah, no, I thought that was like second level or something.
No.
Okay, so yeah, she is going to do that.
Perfect. So yeah, you go ahead and you go and give him some heals. 1 point is enough to get him back, and you clasp Braggy's head as you bring him back to the waking world. Totally.
Smells like chicken. I say, what have I got?
Yeah, it does. It certainly does. As there is a roasting troll in the background. Now, he says to you guys, as in a matter of fact, like he's seen this shit almost 100 times a month, almost. He says to you, "You fought well," and then he just gets his. He kind of just wipes the great sword of his off with it's kind of the cloth he's been using to wipe out all the ale flasks, and then he plops that great sword back above the bar where you can see it right there.
So, I would like to just Durham, do you mind if I write the mess around here? And just ask him that.
Sorry, what was your question?
I would like to ask Durham if, do you mind if I write the, and I point towards all the blood that's everywhere, write the mess around here?
Oh, that's kind of you. Some of the other patrons that were too cowardly to get involved there, I'll have one of them clear it up. Don't worry. We get this stuff all the time. You've
I
done
wave my
enough.
hand
You
and
enjoy and sit down and let me get you a drink.
No, it's not a problem at all, and I'd just like to prestidigitation the blood away. I'm leaving the corpses.
Dunham gives a
I don't want to touch. I don't want to touch the dead bodies, but
Dunham gives a
prestidigitation the blood away.
shrug as he just doesn't care, but he will pour you a glass anyway, and he'll leave it by the side for you if you should want to take it. Now, needless to say, with some of the crowd definitely giving you thumbs up and looking at you with nods of approval, one man who is in your handout as Volovamp Gedarm makes his way across the crowd over towards you as he basically pushes through and he says, "You be adventurers, am I right? I could use your help. Let's find a table to talk, shall we?" And yeah, this guy is actually fairly well known. Anybody who is curious about this guy, you can give me a history check right now.
Yes, I think it will do just that.
Totally, yeah. Okay, you were not familiar. No, unfortunately, this guy has skipped your memory.
So, a quick reminder: with the way proficiency works in this, it's a advantage roll, or is it just
No,
There it is.
incorrect.
No, it's just an
Proficiency gives you your
extra
proficiency
couple of
bonus,
points.
and it is included in the roll that you do.
yeah.
So, for example, I'm proficient in history, so it gives me a bonus of 2.
Correct.
think.
That is absolutely correct. Situations where you have a special key over a situation, due to my ruling, will give you advantage or disadvantage. So I will have. Well, no, I'll let you two just have that roll. Neither of you are overly familiar with Volo Gedarm. Not at all. You don't know who this guy is. He looks preposterously awesome in his own way, with a curly mustache to him and some like purple, fluffy, nobly kind of outfit. But he is not familiar to you guys.
Doesn't seem like
While I have my drink, I would like to chug the entire thing down at once,
Of course.
slam the stein down, and tell him, the price for my time is another drink.
And he kind of scratches his cheek a bit as he goes, well, I don't see why not. Yeah, I can fix you one of those, sure.
I take it, and I'm not chugging this one down because I don't want to throw up everywhere.
Certainly,
Well-
he gives a bit of a smile, though he seems otherwise sort of nervous in the background. He's happy to help you out as he does, but he's very keen to sit you down at a table with him.
So-
I will follow along.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Yeah, I'll take
Well-
a drink and follow.
Melina
Yeah.
will look at him and basically say, "My duties to this city. If you're going to try and send us to some far off land for an adventure, count me out."
Well, I wasn't I don't think anybody has said that in the Yawning Portal before. But no. You're in luck. It's to do with a friend of mine. Can we talk? He should be otherwise local, but yeah, I mean, big city. Anybody can get lost in here.
Sure, I'll follow you. Please.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, okay. So, provided you all go with him, the figure who approached you, this Volovamp, strokes his mustache, adjusts his floppy hat, and tightens his scarf as you all agree to come with him as he goes. Volovamp Gedarm, chronicler, wizard, and celebrity at your service. I trust you've noticed the violence in our fair city these past 10 days. I haven't seen so much blood since my last visit to Baldur's Gate. But now I fear I have misplaced a friend amid this odious malevolence. My friend's name is Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, and I worry he took a bad way home a couple of nights ago and was kidnapped, or worse. If you agree to track him down with all due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece now, and I can give you each 10 times that when you find Floon. May I prevail upon you in my hour of need, you lovely adventurers?
Well, depend on the information. When is the last time that you have seen him, or where does he went before he disappeared?
Well, that's a difficult one. Floon has come and gone as he pleases. He's a bit of a airhead, goes with the breeze, a little bit happy-go-lucky. I guess the last time I saw him was within the 10-day ago, really.
And what kind of description can you provide?
Beautiful. He is a beautiful, beautiful man. However, despite that beauty, you'd think that, well, as I've said before, he has more beauty than he does brains. Which is more than likely how he's found himself getting himself lost. Look for a beautiful man who otherwise is a dunderhead, I would affectionately call him.
So, an elf?
No, not an elf. He is a human, certainly. He has red hair, I can say that much. But you would have difficulty missing him. He would answer to the name Floon. Floon Blagmar.
So, Melina is actually, like, got a notepad and writing this down.
Yeah, totally.
While I'm not writing it down, I would just like to tell the man. So you said 10 now, 10 times that after, 110
Precisely.
total, correct?
You're exactly right.
I nod my head and simply say, "Very well then."
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Joyce.
Any dragons that have to keep me away from sleeping in the street is always appreciated. I'll take that 10 and 100 after.
Well, excellent. I'm very glad to hear you. Well, you very self-sufficient sorts can be relied upon. I'll be sure to chronologue you in my next journal.
So can I add that the 10 to my character sheet then?
What's that?
Can I add the 10 to my character sheet then?
Oh, yes, he will pay those that agree upon this, certainly. He will empty out a little
Yes.
coin purse, and he will decant those to you, most definitely.
Yes, I am agreeing to this. So
Right.
Yep.
We will find this fair one.
His mind finally catches up with him, as he then goes forward to describe that Floon is a handsome human male, his early 30s with wavy red blonde hair. He was dressed in princely garb when I last saw him 2 nights ago. Before Floon disappeared, we were drinking and merrymaking, as you do, at the Skewered Dragon, a dark, bawdy tavern in the Dock Ward. Your best chances of finding him would definitely be to search there.
Right.
What was that place?
Oh, that shouldn't be.
Skewered Dragon.
That's right. In the Dock Ward. So towards the docks and the ocean, as it would happen, since Waterdeep is a ocean-based naval town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Bless me.
Give some time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I know a place around the road. I can take you guys to the much of the detours. We should be able to get there fast. And by that, I mean I'm using city secrets.
Okay.
Right. So we're going now?
Yep.
I
Well,
don't
that's
see why
entirely up
not.
to you. He does tell you and ask that you do make all haste to help his friend. He doesn't know what kind of situation he's in.
Alright. Chuck my beer and just walk out the door.
Melina will actually ask, she says, one of the more important questions. what kind of enemies is he known to have?
None. None as far as I knew. He was just a good friend. We had a few drinks that night, honestly. We didn't make any enemies of anyone in particular.
Do I believe
he-
him?
Well, that becomes down to an
Yeah.
insight check, and I will allow you to make an insight check for sure.
Alrighty.
I'll do that too.
I will.
Here's where
I
my
will give that
negative
check
was-
to the one that asked. And
Okay.
to no
Oh
of us.
yes, my negative insight coming into play right now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, that's 0 right there.
Yeah.
I will.
He is the most trustworthy man I've ever met.
There will be times when, you know, you all want to make a check, and there will be times that I will only ask one of you to make a check. That will usually go to the first one that asks, or we can figure out who does the checks best, and that represents the party. I just don't want to have the law of averages always meaning somebody gives a nat 20, you know, even though it's completely out of their field. Just something like that. So, we'll play around with that as we go. But Adrian Fairbrand, as far as you're concerned, god damn, I trust this man with my heart and soul, and of course, he means nothing but the best for his friend. His poor, innocent friend. Oh, terrible. Just awful what happened. Oh,
So Melina does write down on her notepads like no enemies, possible angry husbands? Question mark.
no. As far
Because
as...
if this is from her own opinion. If he is this good-looking but dumb guy, he may have still stood on toes that he didn't even know of.
Well, did he have husbands, wives?
Well, I mean, like,
Get
you know,
round
he's
to
a
asking.
good-looking guy. He's a
He-
good-looking guy, so it
Oh,
sounds like
He may
there'd
have
probably
had,
be women.
he may have had
flaunting,
some
I mean-
estranged lovers. Beats me.
So I would
Jealous
like to
husbands.
just turn to Joker and just ask him, Joker, you're a tabaxi, right?
Yeah. What do you think I
just-
am? Cobalt?
I just shrug and nod my head, and that's it.
Nice little cameo thought there, certainly. So yeah, how do you guys proceed?
I
What
say
time would it be now?
Well, of course, this is a late night for you fellow merrymakers and what have you, so it will be getting fairly late.
Okay. I would kind of like to sleep prior to heading out.
Alright, awesome. Well, you can certainly do that if you like. I don't know where you guys have necessarily been staying. Let's say those details have always been a bit shady.
I live in the city, so I imagine I'd just be staying at my home.
Right, now that is a very interesting question. The home of the Vazin estate and the family that otherwise dwell there in their lower middle class regions. Very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have those details yet right now. I suppose you could all chill at Vazin's house for sure. Yeah, and I'll have to deal with the state of affairs with that later. But yes, the next day can most assuredly begin as you guys have the whole place open and available to you. Where would be a good home for you? What would be a good home for you? It's not at the castle, Lord.
If it's my home, yeah, like a place where very minor nobles would be.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I did read some of this stuff before. It wouldn't be not the Dock Ward. I'm gonna say something like the North Ward. Somewhere general in the North Ward seems like a good pick for now.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Right, where were we? Yes, so somewhere in the North Ward, you guys chill out, and then the next day, you have the Alright, stop, pause right here, So, it's it's a new day, and the city of Waterdeep is up for you guys to go and explore. Now, when you do start exploring around, some of the major peaks of this city that you can see that you don't need to do much to find are these huge, large statues. I am talking gargantuan. I'm talking colossal, to the size and height of 80 feet, of humanoid like shape and form. It is certainly quite a sight to behold. Some of these that do make itself known. I'm just going to put that one back because I think I put him in the wrong place. But no, the Great Drunkard, for example, is a great one, as it seems to be this large 80-foot massive creature that has collapsed down into like a seated position, as if he just got his ass handed to him, and he seems to have like plopped down, which you can find over here. And anybody who's local understands what these creatures or these huge statues were. These are and formerly huge security measures of Waterdeep. These immense, massive statues were used at one point by the Black Staff herself, or himself, to animate and defend Waterdeep against some of the greater threats that have come forward to this fair city. And with greater advances in magic and defenses, these statues have been left unattended. Some of them have been built around and under and nearby to basically kind of be ready in case the city should need defending again. Kind of a Final Fantasy 15 vibe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, you guys know exactly where you're looking for. You're looking for the Skewered Dragon, a tavern between Net Street and Fillet Lane in the Dock Ward. And we shall begin with you guys actually trying to find it and putting a red X by it. You should be able to see these street names.
Mm-hmm.
That was between Net Street and Fillet Lane of the Dock Ward.
Okay, there's
Fillet Lane.
somewhere around there. You said Reddit.
Oh man, that was too fast. Well, I still need to see an X drawn on there. Haha.
Yep.
Oh, mine's not red.
That's fine.
I'm colorblind though, so I'm an excuse. Well, partially
Right, now,
colorblind.
Net Street and Phillip Street. I put my X there on yours.
Haha.
Oh yeah, I put
There
mine
we
on
go.
the wrong spot. That's what happens. I'm also gonna blame that on me being colorblind.
Yeah, now you guys are all building on the spot now. Just so.
There we go.
No, that's awesome.
That's a shame.
Oh.
That's a blessing.
That was supposed
Gogo was
to.
born in the Dock Ward.
Fillet Street and Net Street. Fillet Lane and Net Street. So yes, you guys have found the area for your situation. Totally. Do-do-do-ba-do. Somewhere in here is your Skewered Dragon. Totally. And yeah, after searching down the many lanes and you do wiggle around here, you will eventually find it. Yeah. Okay. So after, taking out the Vazin family estate map of the city, your tube map of the city, you eventually know where you're heading off to. You begin to make your way there. As you're traveling through the dock wards, as you turn a corner, you'll find yourself on a street that has been cordoned off by the city watch. Lying on the cobblestone are a half-dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers sees you. Get on, she says. Nothing to see here. How do you guys respond?
Melina approaches and she takes out a notepad and she says, we are looking for one Floon, human male, red hair, mid-30s.
I would just like to whisper to her, there's a dozen dead bodies there.
Yeah.
I think they have bigger problems than this.
No,
Your friend
she's like,
is
yes.
speaking the truth there, dear. We do have a lot
Yes,
of
is-
bodies at the moment.
Is there any of the bodies that match that?
Describe him to me.
She says again.
Yeah, wavy
human
hair.
male, mid-30s, wavy red hair.
Extremely handsome.
And she basically goes from her dismissive kind of stance to a stance that leans forward with interest to you now. And she goes to ask, what might this gentleman be doing in this area? And why would you think he'd be part of all these bodies?
He's been missing for the past few days.
Has he? Within the past 2 days, perhaps?
Did
That
we
is
actually?
indeed
He
correct.
said, yeah.
He said 2 days ago they were drinking at the
Yeah,
tavern
yeah.
before.
Funny. These bodies are no less than 2 days cold. You wouldn't happen to be knowing a murderer now, would you?
Oh,
Honestly,
no.
ma'am, I have no clue. We do not know this man. We were just hired to find him. So for all I know, yes, maybe we are looking for a murderer here.
Leave it to the City Watch. Now be on your way.
Melina does brandish her symbol, basically saying, "Yeah, I'm a paladin. I may not be official City Watch yet, but I'm still a paladin."
So that lady, one of the guards that from the City Watch that does see you, she goes, yes. No, I've heard of the Vazins. I have. Very esteemed mother of yours. I've caught wind of her, certainly. So, I absolutely understand. You will respect the full tenets of the law when it comes to the City Watch dealing with it. Not some would-be heroes. As they are likely to do, but if you want to be one of us, then you're going to have to respect that we do deal with the law and justice and carrying out the protection of Waterdeep and its people. If this is something that you can't recognize before joining our ranks, then it's certainly a trait we don't want you joining us. Am I clear?
She narrows her eyes, but she says, "Crystal."
Very good. It's for the best, honest. If everybody takes it into their own hands, then there will be no order between us guards. Hang in there and your time will come, I promise. Now, anyway, I am serious that we do have to keep people away, or else we'll be suspicious. It's always the case that the murderer will come back to the scene of the crime. So let's not add you to suspects, okay?
Alright. We'll be on our way.
Have a pleasant day. Now, watch yourself. And, you are encouraged to leave.
I leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Certainly. And yeah, you just continue on your way. So, as you continue down, tall, densely packed tenements leave most of the neighborhood in shallow at ground level. Most of the street lamps have their glass smashed and their candles stolen, and the smell of salt air and excrement lingers as you pass by rows of run-down buildings. This is your dirtier area now. This is your run-down area, of which I think one of you might be accustomed to. So, on the corner of Zastro Street and Phillip Lane, which would be this corner exactly here, one nearby shop stands out from the others. It has a deep purple facade, and in its window hangs a stuffed beholder. Above the door hangs a sign with whose elaborate letter spells out "Old Exblob or Zoblob shop. How do you guys respond?
I like to just peek in, see what's inside.
Perfect. Certainly. And one person is all that's needed to mention this expression. A cloud of lavender-scented purple smoke trails out of the shop's door as you peer inside. Every wall is painted purple, and every dusty knick-knack on the shelves is dyed a deep violet. The hairless old gnome, sitting cross-legged on the counter, wears a plum-coloured robes. His cheeks are decorated with 9 purple face-painted eyes. The gnome lowers a pipe and exhales a cloud of lavender smoke before raising a hand. Hail and well met. Come browse the shelves of the most curious curiosity shop in the world.
All you needed to do was tell me that it smelled like lavender instead of excrement. I'm going in.
That's awesome.
So-
Totally.
Yeah, I'm going in too. I'm a curious cat.
Yeah, just follow. Duck under the door and go in, I guess.
Okay. What kind of role would it be to try and... These eyes that he has painted, are they similar to the eyes of the guy with the tattoos?
That's a nice, interesting, very nice. Yeah, I like that. That's interesting. Alright. I'm gonna say yes, they are. Differently done, like he did them these himself. They lack a little bit of skill, but yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I'd like to just pardon me. Do you happen to have a parasol?
A parasol?
available?
Ooh,
Indeed.
well, I've got an assortment of trinkets. Let's see what we got. Ha 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 ha. I need the player's handbook. I've not got it right beside me. I'm gonna be seen walking away from my computer while I'm making this noise. Tra la 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 la. Ba ba da ba dee dee ba ba dee boop. Maybe we got a parasol. Maybe we got jack shit. Boop ba da ba dee ba dee ba dee. Ah, there we go. Okay, who's asking for the parasol?
That would be Mr. Fairbrand.
Excellent, Adrian Fairbrand. Why don't you roll me a D100? Excellent. Beep-a-deep-a-da-ba-beep-a-da-boop. So he basically goes and the first thing he tosses out to the counter as he's trying to work through things is he goes, no, not that. As he basically brings out a dragon's bony talon hanging from a plain leather necklace. And he keeps searching as he goes, what have we got over here? Okay, I'm basically looking through the 100 trinkets that we got on this table for a parasol. A piece of crystal faintly glows, a diary written, an old chest and knuckle piece, a pipe, a small a brass orb, a multicolored stone disc, a tiny silver icon of a raven, a bag, a shard, a dragon, a pair of old socks. He's very proud of the pair of old socks. And he's like, well, okay, if you can put the socks on top of the dragon claw, then it's like a tiny parasol, wouldn't you say?
Quite.
He continues to like scrumble around. If anybody wants to have a look at page 161 and 160 and can find parasol, you will be doing me a favor.
It would not surprise me if it is not there. It's not.
Well, yeah, if not parasol, look.
Hang on, I'm gonna do a Control F. Oh, there's no parasol. No parasol, I'm afraid. But in fact, you know what? No. There is a parasol. This parasol looks like it has been burnt. And despite having been burnt, somehow it has remained intact and it just appears ashy. It appears ashy. It appears burnt. It's like framework looks and feels charred, yet it is solid and functioning to the touch.
I would like to just ask the store owner, do you mind if I clean this up a bit?
Oh, it's as clean as it's gonna get, I'm afraid. It's kind of taken its own charm there.
I would like to just gently kind of wave it a bit to see if like ash and stuff is falling off.
It doesn't. It appears completely like it was almost made by design this way, but its make is just so perfect. It's impossible to. It looks so authentic. It's tricking your mind almost. It's either magically kept in place despite being in a fire, or it has been excellently made as if it was to look like it was burnt.
So, to clarify, it would work to block out the sun, right?
Definitely.
And this answer is probably quite obvious, but it stands out a bit.
Well, a bit. It's not like it's multicolored. It is ashen,
Yeah.
dark. So, some might argue it looks like a business umbrella.
I peer at it a bit, and I'm like, how much would this happen to cost?
2 gold. For you, my friend, of course.
Not a problem at all, my friend. And I hand over the 2 gold.
Excellent. Yeah, you have an ashy parasol.
Got it. I will put that down.
Would anybody be keen for any curiosities? He's got a many.
Well-
He has more than 100.
Surprise me.
Surprise! I would love nothing more to surprise you. Now, you, my good friend, you, Ah, okay. Roll me a D100. This is an excellent chance for a surprising Mr. Joker. Wonderful. A glass orb filled in water, in which swims a clockwork goldfish. And he's like, this one, this is an interesting one. I must admit, I was holding on to this myself because I love having this around the place. And, well, it does make a good backup. Oh, well, backup for what, right? Anyway, no, it would be suitable. I'm happy to part with this for a mere 5 gold pieces. I mean, that's a very fair price. It's got a clockwork animal in there.
Yeah, and a fish no less. Sure.
Exactly. Thank you, my good friend. Pay up that 5 gold from your party expenses and go ahead and mark that off.
Yep, I mark off 5 gold and what is it called? Is it clockwork?
You call it what you like, but it is a glass orb filled with water with a little clockwork fish in there.
So a clockwork fish in the water globe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you. And how heavy is this?
Not at all. Doesn't need to be considered.
Thank you.
What else would people like to do?
So Melina will make a slight remark along the lines of unless you can I don't words says I doubt you would happen to have anything for my kind of collection, she says, and basically gestures towards her heels.
He basically looks at the dragon bone that he picked out as he goes, I get the feeling like something like this would be familiar to your family, eh?
I completely ignore that and just point at the
Gee.
socks because she was pointing at her feet.
Yeah,
and saying,
yeah.
And he goes,
See?
yeah, we could get you some nice socks, some nice frilly socks.
The bone. Have a look at that.
Yeah, it just seems to be part of some kind of dragon at one point. Probably a wormling, given its size.
How much?
Oh, well, dragon bone and all that. Ooh, but I like you also. 3 gold?
She hands over the 3 gold.
Very nice.
Never know when dragon bones usually tend to have some innate or some leftover magic in them.
Exactly. It is pulsing with magic. I bet you any time a dragon comes or tries to come nearby Waterdeep, that thing will like beep up, I'm sure. You know, dragon to dragon. It has a lot of magical. Plus, grind it down to a paste. Give it to a male lover as a enhancer. You know, I hear it'll do wonders.
Or take it yourself, and I just look at
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Is there any
Yeah.
reaction?
She's like, she kind of look. What do you mean?
Fair enough.
But she then says, "So, tell me, I'm quite your face paint has it's quite striking."
Oh yeah, well, when you smoke like I do, and he grins as he wiggles his pipe in front of him.
Is that a trend that's happening? I haven't heard of it.
Oh well, down here in the lesser streets, yeah, we got our trends. But of course,
Hmm.
I'm stylized after, the beholder shop. Really, I am the beholder curiosity keeper. This is my hoard. You see.
Do you have any other employees?
No, no, couldn't afford them. Just me. I'm all that's needed.
She's gonna do an insight. She's horrible at insight.
Alrighty.
Roll a natural 20.
Not as horrible as you think.
There is more going on to this this guy, and you think he knows something of relevance. You don't know what it is that gives it away. It might be the whole eye tattoo thing, but with a crit, you are picking up in every little bit of body gestures, details, awkward endings to a giggle that kind of give away that this guy knows something about something else, or something in particular. You haven't asked about it as far as you can tell, but he is definitely withholding some information that weighs heavily on his mind.
Right. I lean close to him and ask, "Do you know anything about the guards nearby? Cleaning something up?"
Oh, City Watch? Yeah, they do their job. I don't cause any trouble. They leave me alone. Simple as that. Why?
Just you're close by. Maybe you know something. Heard something, saw something.
Why would I know that? You can now give me an intimidation or persuasion check, whichever you feel inclined to do, braggy.
Yeah, I think an intimidation is better.
Yeah. Are you proficient? Yeah, you good.
No.
Huh, fair enough. You're still good. And he basically goes,
Yeah, I like lean closer. You sure?
he goes, okay, you got me here by my beholder stalks, haven't you? Well, alright, outside, right. There was this fella. He apparently seemingly got dropped by, I think it was something like 5 attackers. I'd never seen any of them before, but this guy, he was being jumped by these rough-looking sorts, black leather, so they're filled with angst of some kind. Either way, he seemed like he was a good-looking sort. He had some red hair. That was all I was catching before those black leather cloaks sort of came around and started getting him. One of those dudes had a black tattoo with a winged snake on his neck. Weird. But that's all I know. I swear, that's all I know. That's all I know.
Wait. About this guy with the red hair, was he handsome?
Yeah, he was very handsome. I would say so by human standards. As you realize, you're talking to a deep gnome, a gnome from the Underdark, may I add, a Smurf Neblin.
So I realize you may not be as familiar with humans, but would you say he was about in his 30s?
Oh, I'm familiar with humans. I watched them age all day. Yeah, he looked like he was in those 30s, definitely.
Do you know where he went afterward?
I didn't stick around when those guys were carting him off. They just took him down the street, really, and that was the last I saw.
Completely understandable. Completely understandable. You have been a greater help today than you know.
Oh, well, you flatter me. So long as you don't bring any trouble my way for telling you that, I'd appreciate it.
Telling us what?
Hey, for that, you get a free bauble. You get an extra special curiosity. How about I set you fellas up with a nice... He passes you a pipe. It looks identical to his, and he goes, "Oh, go on, give this a blow. You're gonna like it."
I take him literally and I blow on it because I don't smoke. So I don't know how it
You were meant to take him literally, and from its other end, sparkly bubbles start flowing out from the end.
I'm going to use my paw to try to burst the bubble.
Excellent, outstanding. Yes, you bring your paw up and you go.
Yeah, my pupils are very dilated, like enjoying it.
It's like you've taken a shot of heroin. Excellent. So you have a bubble pipe, Mr. Braggy.
Oh, nice.
Unless I was talking to Adrian at all.
Yeah, no, you talked to Adrian.
Adrian, you got the
Yes.
bubbly pipe.
All right.
That is handy.
I clap him on the back and say, "Thank you for the information."
Well, he kind of is knocked off his desk as you do that, and he kind of flops onto his face as he just gives a wobbly thumbs up as he goes, "Don't worry, happens all the time." And he just like picks himself up and scuffs himself off as the little gnome that he is.
All right.
Yep.
Start walking out, I guess. Don't need any more.
Nah.
Yeah, heading to our destination.
Yeah.
I would just like to mention I am walking with I'm just blowing bubbles out of the pipe the whole time I'm walking to
Oh, of
wherever I'm
course.
going.
It never
Going
runs
like
out.
interesting.
Yeah. It never runs out. It will continue to blow bubbles for as long as you want it to. And
That is fantastic.
the bubbles have a
When-
very short lifespan, though.
I am still very pleased with this.
Yeah.
So when they get a fair, out of earshot of this shop,
Yeah.
Melina does turn to the others and she says, "So I find it curious that he has the eye makeup, like that guy with the tattoo that was involved with that orc woman last night, and yet, while there is no straight connection, he is also involved with seeing our missing man. Is there some kind of cult in this city that I have not heard of?"
Having lived in this city my whole life, would I have seen more people with these tattoos?
No. Now, given that your station has required you to work within the upper middle class of the city regions and its city watch, which obviously doesn't work from these dank, dour conditions, you are not so familiar with these areas. Though you know of them, you are not familiar with them. Neither are you familiar
Okay.
with any occupants that might frequent them. People
God,
with
I still
eye
haven't seen
tattoos, Oh, there's so many crazy bits of shit that goes on around here. Trends go around like fidget spinners and skip rope and, eating washing powder. It just so many kind of ways to mark stupid people will come and go this city, and it's always changing. So this could be a new trend. Honestly, it could just sweep in like that, or it's always been around and it's making a comeback. It really can't just work like that.
Yeah, so yeah, Melina just basically confirms it's like he was hiding something, but I'm not sure if what he was hiding was the fact that because we never mentioned anything about a missing person.
No.
He seemed a nice enough sort, and I just blow
There
more
is-
bubbles out of the pipe right
She's like-
after.
Yeah, so she's like, yes, it probably is unconnected, but I just do not trust this eye tattoo trend.
You said, you said the orc had a similar tattoo? Yes,
No,
from yesterday?
No.
Not the orc,
The orc lady was fighting a man who had a similar series of eyes across his bald head.
And accusing him of killing or...
killing
Yeah.
her family or tribe or something like that.
Her mates.
Yeah.
Well, got a clue at least.
Indeed.
Let's go to the tavern and see if Durnham knows anything about the orcs or the men.
We're right by the slumbering dragon, sleeping
Yeah, the
dragon,
skewered dragon.
Skewer dragon.
Yeah.
skewer dragon.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it.
Let's
Which is
just
where
go in and check. Maybe they have some nice information and also actual skewer dragon.
Maybe. Hopefully.
All right.
heard it's quite delicious.
The skewer. Okay, lovely. Well, unlike that kind of thought in your head, this place is a wreck. When you guys come over here, and it is not far from Zolblob's shop, the skewered dragon looks like a ruin. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed, and a ship's anchor is lodged in the roof. How to get there? You guys can see the distance between the lane and the sea. How did that anchor get there? Through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge tankards. How do you guys proceed?
I would like to roll investigation to see how the anger get there.
Alright, give me that check. Magic.
No.
Drunk magic. Only explanation.
A wizard did it.
Yeah, definitely some mage must be drunk and maybe like making a bet on the dare is probably succeed.
I want to meet that mage.
I mean, the funny thing is, D&D is one of those settings where you can literally say a wizard did it, and it probably was a wizard that did it.
Yeah,
That
but
is true.
imagine what caused it if it wasn't. Now that's more frightening. Now then, you can see that the people are inside. You guys are just trying to reconstruct what manner of catastrophe caused this anchor to come in through this ceiling. How do you proceed?
There's no guards around or people inside or something?
There's people inside, but there's no real City Watch presence in this area. They may be around in the Way of the Dragon Street there. Maybe they're patrolling down that way. But in this kind of quieter portion, dirtier, definitely by this run-down wreck, no, there isn't really that much City Watch here. Interrupted by disconnection as you were a spotty voice. 1. You're right outside this disheveled, terrible, anchor-ridden tavern, but the city guard presence is low here. How do you guys proceed?
I would like to keep a tighter watch on my coin purse as we enter in.
Done. Totally sensible, totally reasonable, and you do so with no check required. You will have advantage on, no. What's your passive perception? Which is 10 plus whatever you have in your perception skill.
Which would be -1.
So that would be 9. You
Yes.
now have a passive perception of 14. For
That is quite a bit better.
while you're in here. Passive perception of 14. Okay. Passive perception is usually what I go to against as the DC when somebody tries to pickpocket without you noticing. Okay, so, you enter. You're all a bit cautious.
Melina does want to see. Is it like, does this damage look like it's recent, or is it like part of just the quote unquote charm?
Part of this place, the kind of mold that was like growing outside the glass has since crept to the middle of this kind of open entryway. So no, this this definitely has been a while back. This wasn't a recent thing.
Okay.
This is a dive.
I
Plenty
guess we
of
should start.
yeah, plenty of dock walkers, burly, but otherwise tired from pulling rope and dragging in different kind of seafaring vessels, as well as just being overall exhausted from being yelled at by captains or any amount of time at the sea. These gentlemen are having a quiet, terribly dive-like drink, but there are several of them if anybody wanted to approach them.
Yeah. So I would just like to ask. I'll go up to them and ask them. Pardon me. Were you drinking here a couple of days ago?
Hang on, one gives an authentic burp. Ugh. Yeah, lovely.
I burp right back.
Ah, lovely. And then he basically just gives a grunt, and he basically just turns to you and defensively strikes back. Who's asking?
That would be us.
I know it's you, but who are ye?
A couple of
I would
adventurers
like-
hired to find someone. Melina says.
Oh, you're lot. Oh, what stuck-up bitches you are. And he takes another swig of his ale. Why don't you give me?
I would.
Yeah, give
Sorry,
me
go
a
ahead.
intimidation or persuasion check, whatever somebody would like to give.
I'll
She's
go
gonna
with
go
persuasion.
intimidation.
Oh, I've heard it.
We can go good cop, bad cop.
I will allow that if you want to, but you'll have to roleplay it. So Dorbury throwing a persuasion, right? As two different people are talking about good cop, bad cop. I will not be having that role, as I've not been asking for that role. The people that talked about good cop, bad cop, is that Braggy and Melina?
Yeah, I said bad. Yeah, good cop, bad cop.
So essentially,
So it'd
what
be
that
Joker. and Melina.
well, essentially what that means is you could be the good cop or the bad cop with somebody who is proficient. You make a roll, and the other person gives you the assist action. That assist action, provided they are proficient in the skill you're trying to do, will give you advantage. So, Melina, shall we have Joker assist you and give you advantage on a persuasion check?
Sure. I mean, I'm proficient in both intimidation and persuasion, and they're the exact same score.
Well, if you're proficient, you can help Joker. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
So which way do you want to do it?
Well, which one of us has the better score?
I have +5.
So do I. Okay, then. So I guess it doesn't really matter. So
I mean,
yeah,
he's already-
Melina. Yeah, he's already rolled persuasion. So yeah, Melina will just be like, you say your piece, and then I'll jump in to see.
Yeah. Look, we are here to find a person, a very red-haired, brunette, handsome, very handsome, and we believe that you're very nice. I whisper like a little bit drunk, but a nice person, and seem to be nice, very nice for us to ask for information. And could you please share some of the things that you have seen of late?
All right. This is good cop, bad cop, so I do want Melina to give the bad cop to
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so Melina simply says, she says, look, we've got a job to do. I don't care about your attitude. You don't care about our attitude. You just help us get this job done, and you won't see us again.
Wow, that's a
You
that's a passive bad cop.
I don't. Oh, this. She's mean serious business. She, I
Yeah.
can't stop her if she was going to like go after you. But please remember, I would prefer more civilized, and I would prefer that you talk it out nicely without any problem.
Yeah.
I'm please. I don't want her to starting to sucker punch everyone in this room and throw them into
Another gentleman comes forward who was like from the table over as he basically goes, "Oh, enough! Just Frederick, just tell him, just tell them so they can get lost." And he goes, "All right, you know what? I will. 2 nights back, I saw the one you were talking about. Yeah, there was a chip off the old block. That one," says the barkeeper himself, a greasy man of very thin sort of physique, as the other one sort of sneer, and that one just goes, just another spoiled rich noble who likes to rub our noses in it, really, was all it was. He came down with some tossed up, fancy, self-gloating book writer sort, I don't know. They played Three Dragons Ante for a while. The fancy one who kept trying to sell us his tome and whatever, he left. And then that other one, he kind of met up with some other guy. They had they had more talks afterwards. They left right after midnight. But like 5 guys in here followed them out, and nobody knew who they were. They weren't regulars, we knew. And they left shortly afterwards. After some guy that came in at like another one. The two looked similar, I'll be honest, when I saw them. The two looked similar. They left they left for some reason. And then these 5 guys, this is all in person, by the way. Their descriptions are not fluent, neither are they eloquent, or well thought out for that matter, as they are midday drunk. But like, those 5 guys though, don't know them, but I know that they like this warehouse, see, over on Candle Lane. Look for a snake symbol on the door. That's something about those guys. But other than that, what I can tell you is 3 men came into the tavern. One, the guy you're looking for. A second, the poshed up fucking book writer sort. The third, some other twat that looked kind of similar to the first. And then 8 people left. One of them, the book writer, cocked up Twazik. The 2 others, and then the 5 shady-looking sorts that seem to follow after the last 2. Does that make sense? Fuck it, I don't care. Look for a warehouse over on Candle Lane.
Shady-looking fuckers. Snake. Got it.
One question out of curiosity. Did any of these men have tattoos or face paint?
Nah, I couldn't see.
Eyes?
Wasn't gonna have any hope of seeing that. It was dark. They all were very much hooded. Ain't gonna see any tattoo underneath whatever tossed up skin they had. Nah, never had a chance.
Okay. So.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, right, well, thank us by leaving.
Well, I think it's reasonable to assume, given he's directing us to a warehouse with a snake on the door, and our man was being assaulted by someone with a black tattoo of a wind snake on their neck, that this is a fairly decent lead.
There's a good chance that he managed to at least take, what was it, 5 of them out?
No, it seemed like the 5 of them took the one of him out.
Yeah.
Or the 2 of him,
I was
apparently.
I was thinking of the bodies that we came past the watch.
Well, that was like a dozen people.
Oh right, it was a dozen
Yeah.
people, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that may be.
I think this
Not
is
sure
just
on
a
that.
tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well-
so,
Let's just
he
focus on the
directed us
facts.
to Candle Lane.
Yeah.
So, is that
Excuse me.
anywhere nearby? I'm not seeing it.
Is it in
Yeah,
Dock
he never told us ward or anything like that, so we could assume the docks.
Indeed.
Ah, I found it.
Ah. Why don't you
I
give us a
would
ping
like
for us?
to. He did indeed. I'll circle it right here.
Ah, very nice, very nice. So that's actually much more into the city as it happens. Very nice.
My suggestion is that we head right there. It's still the daytime, so it's reasonably safer.
Yeah,
I would like to head there before it gets dark.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Seems like a sensible, reasonable thing to want to do.
So the Way of the Dragon, I'm guessing that's like there's like wagons and carts and all that kind. Just constantly, it's like a main road.
Yeah,
A lot of
there will
traffic.
be some of that because there will be horse and carriage that are moving dock stuff from that side. There is also the case to be made that those that come along the high road from the south will have most of their goods moved around the city's outer perimeter, while the merchants themselves travel through the city. You know, if they have something to sell over at the trade wares, no point lugging the wagons and wagons through the city, when instead they can go around the city's limits towards the river gate, essentially, and take it straight into the trade wares from there. You know? Saves mixing it in with all the other pedestrian and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there will still be a highish volume of traffic, given that it is Waterdeep herself.
Hmm.
While we're figuring out what to do, I'd just like to mention Adrian is still just playing with the
Yeah.
bubble pipe.
Oh yeah, totally, absolutely. And it is still the middle of the day for sure at this point. These sailors, or these dock workers, are certainly midday half drunk, certainly.
Which is why I myself am not getting a drink yet.
Hmm. Well, once you've decided what you want to do, let me know.
I think we all agree head to the warehouse
Yeah.
now while it's daytime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
going through the Way of the Dragon Road.
Alright,
Okay.
certainly. So, you head out to the main traffic. Some sites that actually seem interesting to you as you're making your way out there is, you certainly see like a band of children. A young tiefling girl, a rather fat humanoid boy, and a fairly slender tomboyish girl who seems to be in some sort of they're all looking like commoners' clothes, rags. You know, they're children of the street, really, or who are having fun and probably parentless. But as you walk on your way by, they continue to like charge over. The boy and the girl seemingly chasing after a giggling tiefling child as they go down their way, and they don't interrupt you. This one sight that appears among the many others of this towering place. In fact, let's see, where are you? All the way down here. In fact, yeah, from your position, as you're going all the way over to the north, you can see the Honourable Knight statue, which is one of the many colossal statues standing just north of Drakis Street, with its sword and shield in hand, a huge gargantuan Colossus of Rhodes, right in the middle of the city, looking ready to defend it, right to the very middle point between the trade ward and the dock ward. Very interesting place. Now, as you do get to Candle Lane, the buildings here start to get very tall and tightly packed, so that if it wasn't for the fact it was the middle of the day, the sun wouldn't be getting to you guys. And even now, about like half your bodies are covered in leering bits of shadows coming from the nearby buildings. Gloom envelops a narrow alley as dark as a dungeon, and as odorous as one, too. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness is a faint flickering from down the lane, like a distant candle.
Do we see the warehouse?
Well, you see that light along the street.
I have
Alright.
dark vision. I don't mind going in.
I have dark vision as well.
It's gloom. It's not dark vision required. Don't worry. But when you
Okay.
do continue down this gloomy alleyway, with the sun and the bright sky overhead, as you seemingly are both beneath a bright sky and yet within a dark, melodious sort of alleyway, you continue down until you do get to this warehouse. It's directly across the street from the lamp, which your flickering light does take you to be. And this flickering lamp does light up this gloomy spot, just to show itself right beside the entrance to this warehouse, where there is this picture, or rather illuminates a black winged snake aiming down with a sphere in its mouth that it's sort of chasing after. This
That's what
seems
we're looking for.
Okay, is this a symbol that? Because if I recall,
you don't know the symbol at all.
okay.
So, what I would like to do is the beholder eyes. I would like to put that symbol and like place it over the snake one, and I will do that using my cantrip.
That's that's. Do you have any inclination what you're doing? Is this just?
They gangs.
I mean,
This is out of character, actually. Yeah.
I'm just interested why you're doing this. What is?
So
your
I
gang
am
doing this?
aware, at the very least, that the snake group is a gang,
Yeah.
right?
You've-
That much is obvious enough.
At least
And
it's
I've
what you
seen-
think.
This is what my character is thinking right now. It's obvious the snake group's a gang, and I recognize like the eye thing from that group of the guy who was beating up the half-orc woman with 5 other dudes. So I wouldn't exactly like them. So I figure if I put this symbol here, whatever we do in this warehouse, those people will get blamed for it instead of us.
You have inspiration awarded to you as of this moment. Very nice.
Alrighty.
Wow.
And I will, being a rogue, I'm going to see if there is any alternate entrance than the front door.
Well, I'm just about to take you over to a small area that might interest you. Alright, so yes, I'm just taking you over now to a certain handout. Now, hopefully, you should be able to see this place. It shouldn't have any extra fog of war or anything else beyond what I've given it. No dynamic lighting that is just too difficult to deal with, honestly.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
excellent.
sorry, to clarify something real quick, because I'm not too familiar with inspiration. Is that re-rolling or is that granting advantage?
Granting advantage, but because I will always have you roll 2 dice at the same time. My version of inspiration advantage means that if you roll a result and you spend your inspiration, you will be using the highest result of that roll. So if you're sitting on a crit and you see that crit and you want to spend that crit, I don't ask you to re-roll. You just say, I use my inspiration and I use that crit I've just made as part of this roll, and I allow it.
Got it. Thank you.
Now, as for you guys, you should be able to see this whole layout at the moment, and yeah, you can see this ramshackle two-story warehouse, and you guys are kind of standing outside of this yard area, I suppose, which doesn't have the best of details. But what is apparent to you is that the gate of this place. So yes, you asked for 3 points of entry, Mr. Joker.
Yes.
Well, first of all, will be the entrance of this yard. This fence is a kind of high, 12 feet tall, kind of pointed metallic fence, while the yard itself is not locked by this doorway in the front here, which anybody can enter through. All the windows available to you, which I suppose on the ground floor are not many. I think over here is a window, right beside a very large set of doors. Meanwhile, other windows... That's weird. But other windows might include some on the next level up, which includes a window here and a window here. Right beside it. So yes, the front door. Either of the doors, the windows can be okay. Yeah, so basically, there's not a lot of entryways and openings, but these are what's available to you.
Gotcha.
After that, it's up to you. You guys can decide.
So we were just by the front door because I put the symbol on the front door.
You needn't have done so in a loud manner. How did you do it, by the way? What did you use?
I can do it with prestidigitation specifies it can create a symbol or a sign. It doesn't specify size.
No, it usually will within a 5-foot area cube. But presti. Let us see duration, which I believe up to an hour. Up to an hour, that would be gone. Either way, you put it on there for fun, looking to make your own sort of, like, your own war as you want it. Okay. But yeah, that's not an overly amazing ruckus.
And also, I would just like to... I am doing this from the max range of prestidigitation, which is 30 feet. I'm not getting, like, right up on the door to do it.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. I talked about passive perception. Would everybody please like to tell me their passive perceptions, please?
12.
11.
Mine has gone back down, I think, because I'm not watching anymore, so 9.
Alright, very good. Nothing different happens.
Mine is down 9.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
Okay, I'm going to be a little sneaky then. May I roll stealth?
You may roll stealth against the warehouse, but you're trying to be overly sneaky, so that's fair. Do you have a plan on top of being sneaky? Do you want to enter a various way, or what do you want to do?
I'm thinking about that. Is that the door here?
Whereabouts are you looking?
The one to the right.
That is an interesting question. I hear background noises, which are not welcome, but that is an interesting question. I'm gonna have to say yes, but why it's there, God only knows.
All I know is I am entering not first.
Right, but I can tell you it's a
Right.
completely out of place door that just hangs suspended like 10 feet above the ground.
I'm gonna use a perception very quick to see if that door is look like it was locked or not.
Well, you first have to climb the 10 feet to get to that second story. In fact, no, this will help you.
Can you use
Boom.
acrobatic?
Wait, you said are the windows on the second floor
There are windows on the second floor. Found here.
and none at the first floor?
There is one on the first floor. Well, I guess this is another door. I guess that's thicker than our window. That's thicker than a window, yeah. Very confusing. If only I had like a key for these symbols. But no, if they've drawn those windows that thin, then these must be doors. And on top of this very large door they've got here, they also have this smaller door beside it, which I guess is fair for warehouses. But with you guys looking around this warehouse, prowling around it, while the midday sun starts to yawn over into some afternoon sun, we will end this session here of the first Dragon Heist session.